Welcome to a brand new episode of the Totally Tim Show. I am Totally Tim. I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about the Timber King 2000, the controls and everything that's involved in it. I'm going to show you guys, kind of give you a quick walkthrough of everything Timber King, and stay tuned. Let's get to it. The hydraulic control unit is one of the most unique, and for someone who's run excavators, backhoes, and other really interesting, this is kind of odd to work with. These two are related to each other, as are the next two, the next two, and the next two. This being basically the cutting head up and down, and this one being the drive unit, allowing the unit to go forward, the saw unit to go forward and backward. The SetWorks is really amazing and easy to use. On-off switch on the side. You have the clutch drive over here and the glide roller on the other side. This is the forward-most log leveler for the Timber King 2000. It's hydraulic and it runs in about 6 gallons a minute, so it will lift a log and you can roll it. It's got a roller that is greased so that you can move a log forward or backward should you need to, raising both the front and or the rear one. This is a hydraulic log roller. The chain rolls both forwards and backwards so that you can adjust the position of your log, and this is a hydraulic motor that's linked directly to the control or the joystick on the master station on the other end, so their control station. Really helpful if you have a big log that you need to manipulate. The hydraulic clamping arm, it goes up and down, backwards and forwards, and it's got a pitch angle on the front of it. This thing will clamp the biggest log or the smallest piece, allowing you to cut all the way down to 1 inch from the deck of the machine. This chain is an important detail built into the Timber King 2000. The reason why is because this chain loops up into the sawmill, into the head part of the sawmill and the drive unit, and therefore it is always exactly parallel with the other arm anywhere on the mill, and it offers an extremely smooth glide on the rails. The fenders are removable. You have to actually undo the bolt in order to get them off, but the fenders are removable should you ever need to do so. You don't necessarily need to because the power belt nor any of the hydraulics or electric lines are in the way, so I prefer to just leave my fenders attached. This is a hydraulic drive unit, and this drives the entire head unit forwards and backwards. This chain is actually hooked to a sprocket on the inside, which the drive chain that we talked about earlier runs all the way up this arm around that sprocket and then back down to ensure that it's precisely accurate. Okay, now today we're gonna replace the blade on the sawmill because the other one's it's kind of getting a little bit old, but the best way to do it actually is you got to get this X part inside of there and then just let it go. But it's a dangerous thing because these tips are really super sharp. So really, if you just throw it on the ground, it'll unwind itself, and that's the safest way of doing it if you're not familiar on how to do it. But let's get started and change this blade out. All right, so I've loosened the blade and pushed that back. I kind of show you guys how to do that. But this is the inside of the Timber King. And the best way to do this is actually, we're gonna move this forward so we have more space to actually get that piece out. And you'll notice that there's a little, that this is cut down just a little bit. So if we just take this and we roll it, she'll come right out of there. And that's our old blade. Let's get a new one stuck in there. One thing that you do want to make sure that you do with these is just make sure that you clean these off, the belts off a little bit. It stops a lot of the vibration. What we're doing is we're making sure that the back of the blade is even with the back of the wheel. All right, so we're gonna apply a little bit of pressure to this. And then spin it, make sure it's on there. We'll start it and run it just a minute. Make sure the blade stays on because it'll center itself. And then we'll go ahead and tighten it up and get started. All right. We're good. Hey everybody, thanks for watching today's show. I know we didn't cover absolutely everything on the Timber King 2000. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and we'll be sure to get back with you, or we'll be able to refer you to the appropriate person at Timber King to answer that technical question. So far, I am absolutely in love with the Timber King 2000. It does everything I want to. It's powerful, it's an amazing machine, and obviously we're gonna have a very long and adventurous time on this channel going forward. We have a lot of wood to cut up. We're talking to neighbors, we're talking to friends and family, seeing if we can get some more logs and trees. We have a lot to build. So stay tuned. Make sure that you do hit the like and subscribe button and the little notifications so that you always know what we're doing when we're doing it. Thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next video.